Between 1955 and 1989, an average of 55 nuclear tests were conducted across the globe each year. More than 30,000 young British and Commonwealth servicemen served at British test locations in Australia and the Pacific Ocean. But in the years since, those who were involved say they've been ignored and lied to about their exposure to radiation. For decades, Lab Rats International has represented the millions across the world exposed to fallout from the testing programmes and the families who still suffer today from illness and deformities. In Gloucestershire, founder of Lab Rats, Alan Owen, meets with veterans Dennis Hayden and Terry Hughes, who were deployed to atomic test sites. Dennis was posted to Australia in the 1960s and has suffered countless health problems he believes are because of his exposure to radiation.
We were part of an experimental programme that was set in motion right in 1952 at the start. They wanted to know the effects of radiation would have not only on the equipment that was being used, but on the men themselves. And that's why none of us had any protective clothing when we went to the forward areas.
Terry Hughes was part of the Royal Fleet Auxiliary, the support branch of the Royal Navy. He was deployed to Christmas Island in 1958 and witnessed the detonation of a hydrogen bomb.
And the resident naval officer had to come out and explain to everybody there was nothing to worry about. It was only a bomb that would be exploded and we wouldn't feel any effects at all. And then we had a countdown for the bomb. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And once again we watch the fireball as it falls, proclaiming that Britain joins the United States and Russia as a hydrogen bomb power.
My wife had one miscarriage. My son can't have any children. I've got a granddaughter who has epileptic fits.
Last year, the government unveiled the Nuclear Test Medal, recognising the military, civilian and overseas staff and personnel who participated in Britain's nuclear testing programme in the 1950s and 1960s. But for Lab Rats founder Alan Owen, whose own father was a nuclear test veteran, the work is only just beginning. In September, they launched a legal challenge to the Ministry of Defence to provide the test veterans full medical records, which they say they've been denied access to.
We sit in this bubble as the nuclear test veteran community, fighting against the establishment. And they will say, ministers will go in Parliament and say, all you've got to do is apply for your medical records and they'll give them to you. It just doesn't happen. It's not a reality. They're not there to as easy, as accessible as just applying. They will fight you all the way. They will delay it.
In response, a government spokesperson said, "We are grateful to all service personnel who participated in the British nuclear testing programme, which is why we have formally recognised them with an official medal. Nuclear test veterans who believe they have suffered ill health due to service have the existing and long-standing right to apply for no-fault compensation under the War Pensions Scheme." The fight for these veterans and their families lives on, because thousands who came before never got the recognition and justice for their service. Jack Carson, GB News.